Hi everybody. So I am going to be doing another eyeshadow look for you. This one is a little bit different than I showed you guys yesterday with just the eyeshadow basics. I'm going to be using the same 3 steps. However, I will be using palette number 3. So the idea with this video is to show you kind of how to use those 3 basic steps that I showed you and implement those steps using other colors. So I'm going to kind of wing this video. I don't really have it planned out. I pretty much know that I'm going to use palette 3 to create a sort of different look than what I showed you guys yesterday. So first things first, like always, actually here, let me pull my hair out of the way here. So I know that it always just falls off from, or excuse me, it always falls out from behind my ear. So I'm just going to pin it out of the way. Okay, so first things first, always prime, of course. So let's prime our eyes. I'm going to put just a little bit of that eye primer right on my ring finger. Like always. Always use your ring fingers when you are applying anything around your eyes. Okay, so pat that all over your lid. Or I guess I would say lids, since there are 2 of them. Okay, so pat that all over your lids. Kind of go even up to your eyebrows too. All right, let that dry. So while that is drying, I am going to open up Mineral Eye Pigment. This is a loose eyeshadow, basically. They're called mineral eye pigments, but what an eye pigment is a loose eyeshadow. So inside that you can see the eyeshadows. So this is called, this color is called Innocent. It is a matte color. It's a really, really light color. I like to use this sometimes as a transition color all over my lid, which is like that light color that I used in step 1 in the eyeshadow basics video. So I'm going to use the Deluxe brush, just like before. That one's that bigger fluffy brush. And I'm going to dip into the Innocent Eye Pigment. Now this is obviously a little bit lighter than my skin tone. So when you use the loose pigments, I'm going to give you guys kind of a little tip here, is you can dip into the little tub itself, and then to kind of fan and spread that product across your brush, I tap in the lid so that it's a little bit more evenly dispersed across the brush rather than densely packed in one particular spot like it can be sometimes when you dip into the mineral pigment. Okay, so pat that all over your eye. And if you feel like you need to pick up a little bit more product, you can do that right in the lid. Alrighty, so I'm going to put the lid back on that. And then, using the liner and shader brush, I'll be using the shader end, which is the smaller eyeshadow brush. I'm going to dip into this beautiful pink color here. This color is called Tickled. Again, I'm using palette number 3. And I'm going to use Tickled, which is this pretty pink here. So I'm going to load my brush up. And remember, always tap off that excess so that you don't get fallout under your eye, because that's just annoying. All right, and pat that all over the lid. So this look that I'm doing is kind of something you could wear every day. You could spruce it up even to wear in the evenings if you wanted. Put a nice dark liner on, make the crease a little bit more solid and dark and defined. But it's totally up to you. This look is just a really simple daytime look. Alright, and I want just a little bit more color on there, so I'm going to layer a little bit more on. Alrighty, so now I'm going to use this crease brush, pretty crease brush, just like before. And I'm going to use this color right here. This one is Ecstatic. Now this is a shimmer. Tickled, this pink is a matte color, but we're going to be using a shimmer in the crease this time. So load up your crease brush. Remember, always tap off the excess. And pat that right into the crease. Little by little. Start with a small amount of product because you can always add more if you need to. And remember, the very first spot that this brush touches your eye is where the most product is going to be applied. So make sure you're starting on the outside corner and working your way in. All right, get a little bit more product on there. Tap that in. All right, and there's a little subtle crease. There's not much to it there. There's just a little bit of darkness just to kind of define the crease a little bit. You can see that between the pink and this kind of pretty shimmery, I would say sort of a brown gray, there's just a really subtle transition. And then we'll do the other eye. Alrighty, and then at this point, take a look at both eyes. Double check that the creases are symmetrical, that everything kind of looks even, and then take one of your big fluffy brushes. It could be the Deluxe brush we started with, or it can be a brush that looks similar to this. They all kind of work the same. I prefer this one. I love this big fluffy blending brush. But the Deluxe brush works just as well. And then with small circular motions, blend out your eyeshadow. And it's that easy. So there's just a super simple, neat little everyday look for you guys. This is something that you can do with any color. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of an idea. Those 3 steps with those eyeshadow basics can be applied with every single color that you can think of. As long as the colors kind of go together, it'll look great. You can even play with some fun, funky colors if you wanted to. I mean, one of our palettes has some, here, let me show you, has some really cool purple and orange and like a silver. This one totally intimidated me for a while, but I finally cracked it open and tried it, and even these colors look incredible together. So as long as you are blending your eyeshadow and using those 3 steps, play with it, have some fun, figure out what you think looks great. If you wanted to, you can even go through and add even more darkness in the crease here, blend it out again. It's that easy. You guys can do whatever you want with these colors, but I wanted to give you an idea of how you can use other colors besides those basic earth tones, those kind of browns and I don't know, what would you call it, kind of like a beige. You can use colors beyond that, and if you want to, drag your crease in just a little bit for a little bit more drama. Go up higher with your crease. You can bring these brushes up high. You can do all sorts of different things, but play with it and figure out what works for you. Once you're comfortable, it gets a little bit easier to kind of mess with it a little bit and figure out what you like. So anyway, if you guys have questions, please ask. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.